Hey, everybody. Thank y'all for joining us here at World Services for the Blind. We're going to be talking about giving season. Of course, we just had Giving Tuesday, but I'm sitting with Michelle Harper, our Director of Development, and I'm Eric Yarberry, our CEO here at World Services for the Blind. And we just want to talk to you guys about what it really looks like to give and what an impact you could have on World Services for the Blind with your giving this season, especially as the year is coming to an end and you're looking for a way to make an impact as tax season comes around the corner. So Michelle, kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role here and how you give.
Sure. So just like you said, Michelle Harper, and I'm the Director of Development here for our World Services for the Blind Foundation. So I oversee our giving and the donations that come through, and get to build relationships with our donors, and which I love. So that's a big, exciting part of this season as we are closing our year and people are doing their end of year giving. I love connecting with folks. And so, one of the things we were talking about is when we look at what are the reasons behind giving? Why do we give? So, I mean, when you're working in a nonprofit, you have the heart you understand the importance of giving, and so you give yourself personally. And so Eric and I were talking about it, and I said, there were some key things that I appreciate when I'm looking at a nonprofit and a mission that I get behind and support. What are the reasons I give? So, one of the biggest reasons is, of course, the first and foremost important reason is the mission. What do they stand for? What are the values of that mission? The importance, the impact they're making, how many are being impacted by that mission. And that's some exciting stuff that we can share with you briefly that, on this end, when you're considering World Services for the Blind in your end of year giving and donating. But, I look at the longevity, how long a nonprofit has been serving people. I think that's really important. I think it's important who's leading the nonprofit, because that, the health of a mission or the health of a nonprofit starts from head down, so, who's the leader in charge? And then also, I like to, one of the big things I consider is just at the level of leadership you're looking at the impact that you're making. You're looking at what are some other areas?
I think
what am I missing?
So if you're looking at giving, is that organization, does it represent your values? I think when you're actually wanting to give, whether it's for religious reasons or for if you're giving to a school or a hospital or something that really rings true with you. I know for me, because I'm visually impaired and have been my entire life, I like to give back to organizations that impact my community of folks who are blind and visually impaired like me. And not just because I work for World Services for the Blind, but because those organizations have an impact and have potential to positively affect my community. So always when you're giving, think about the ways, how is my dollar, in this case, going to make an impact on my community and hopefully down the road, me or someone going through my situation. And that's really one big way of giving. And I think if you even look at a larger scale of giving, when you're applying to scholarships, the people are always asking, what are your values? What do you do? What sets you apart from someone else? And I think when you're giving, you should be just as considerate and ask yourself those questions. So Michelle, about WSB, what are some ways that people can give, and how will those dollars have an impact on those we serve?
Oh, absolutely. So you can give to the overall mission of WSB, and that is to create as much independence as individually possible for the clients that come that are blind and visually impaired. We want to help them be as independent as possible. And so that's our goal with every program we do. That's our overall mission. So when you're given to the mission of World Services for the Blind, you are helping a blind and visually impaired adult become more and more independent through life skills, through career training, And so you can give to the overall mission of WSB, and that's where your dollars are going. We also have a couple of campaigns that we are doing right now. So our group home, we are in the middle of a construction of a group home, and I want to let Eric kind of briefly talk about that. Tell us about the group home.
Yeah, so for 75 years, World Services for the Blind has served to date over 60 countries and 17,000 individuals. Well, as the demand for services has changed, we see a need here in Arkansas to provide support for blind Arkansans with intellectual and with developmental disabilities. So we have 70,000 square foot of space here on campus. And we have a north side of the campus that we felt would be a good spot to renovate. So we're renovating those dorms in order to provide 24 beds for individuals who are intellectually and developmentally disabled, who are blind and who are Arkansans. Most of our individuals that we serve are all across the country and the globe. And one of the other things that ties into those that we serve is our Success Scholarship, not just for Arkansans, but all across the country, those who aren't able to receive funding through vocational rehabilitation. You want to talk about the Success Scholarship?
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite things. So that's we're right now, most of what we're directing people towards as they learn more of how they can support WSB is our Success Scholarship. There are several people across the United States and definitely internationally that can't get funding from their state or their country to support them in training and to send them to send them to WSB for our programs and our training. And so we have set up a scholarship for people to come along and support students or clients that otherwise would not get funded. And so the Success Scholarship is one of our newer campaigns, newer programs, and it's a great way to help those that really need the help. Financially, they can't afford it on their own, but through the help of our donors, they are able to come and basically their lives are completely changed. They have gone from a place of feeling hopeless to having hope, coming here, learning that they can do things on their own and they can have that independence. They could even live on their own, have a job. And so all of that is such exciting things that a lot of folks that apply for our scholarships, they never thought was possible before. And then they come here and it just is a complete game changer for them. And so that's a big need right now is scholarship donors to help us build that scholarship. International students for sure can't come from around the world. And we have reached students in 60 countries so far, but we are not able to continue that if we don't get some support within the scholarship so that we can help those students come over, because they don't have funding from their countries to send them, and they individually don't have funding to come to live. They live on campus, so we're providing their housing, their food, their everything while they're here. And so that there is a cost to that, of course, and so that's where the Success Scholarship comes into play. So we would love help with that, especially as you're considering your end of year giving, where you want to give to, who you want to give to. That's a big thing. So remember, we went back, we talked about values and the importance, where your money's going to go. One thing I wanted to mention that I kind of lost track of earlier is when you're giving to a nonprofit, you want to know that when you give, your money's going to go exactly where you designate it to. So if it's to the overall mission, or if you want it to go to something specific within what they represent, like our Success Scholarship, you want to know when you mark that check for that, they are going to spend those funds within that campaign or that specific area. And we are faithful to your money and your support and gifts. We want to make sure that we are faithful to apply that to exactly where you designate. So if you tell us you want to give to the group home, we're in the construction to help us finish out and reach those Arkansans with the services that we're going to provide. It is a first in its of its kind in the nation. Right here in Little Rock, Arkansas, a group home for blind adults that with IDD. So you can help us with the construction of that. Just designate group home, and it's going to the group home.
Yeah.
Success Scholarship, it's going to Success Scholarship.
Yeah.
And then we've got some exciting things about our courtyard, and I'll let Eric kind of tell you about what we got going on and how things lay out for our courtyard campaign.
Yep. So as I said, we just celebrated 75 years in service, World Services for the Blind has, and our buildings are not exactly 75 years old, but they're pushing middle 60s. So we've got, I mean, really, we've got strong structure.
Yep.
The buildings are solid. They're not going anywhere, but we've got to bring up our landscaping.
Mm-hmm.
When you go somewhere, let's say you're taking a family member to a hospital, or you're taking your kids to check out a school for the first time, or you're just going to a park and you want to sit down and have just a good time, good relaxing time. It really matters to you how that looks and how it feels. And our students here who are staying 9, 12, 18, 24 months, not an exaggeration, of their life, we want them to have a space where they can actually go out and step outside of the classroom and relax. And if you give to the courtyard, you're giving to that vision, that them being able to actually separate themselves from their hard work and really just the day-to-day, and they'll be able to sit out and enjoy a nice fountain, a bench. We're going to have a nice space out there. It would be difficult to describe everything that we're going to be doing, but
it's sensory garden.
Yeah,
kind of that kind of gives you an idea.
Yeah.
It's a sensory garden. So we're going to be bringing in plants that will appeal to their 5 senses, and definitely with smell and touch and different things like that. So it's a really special space for our clients. They, again, just like Eric said, they live here. This is their home. They don't venture far away unless they're going, and coming to areas of need, like shopping and doing things like that they have to take care of. But overall, they're here a lot of the time. And so that courtyard is really important to them to just get away, have some downtime from classes and their training that they're going through, to just relax. And so the courtyard is a great way to give a thing for you to give to, and making a really special place for these clients. So
I also want to add too, for those of you who aren't able to give, just do us a favor and share our posts. That helps a lot. You guys can, and subscribe to our newsletters. You can go to both our wsblind.org website as well as wsblindfoundation.org and share that information. A lot of fundraising isn't just fundraising. You've got to do friend raising. You've got to actually bring people who are willing to share that message. So we know that a lot of clients, potential students, previous students are watching these posts come across, and you may not be able to give, but share. Let people know that we're definitely we are a 501c3. We're a nonprofit based out of Little Rock, and we want to continue our mission for the next 75 years. And we can only do that if you guys are helping us share that mission and giving as well. So Michelle, is there anything else that you think these folks should know?
Sure. Just last couple of things. So one, we are on Facebook as far as a nonprofit that you can do fundraising with through Facebook, so you can give that way. So we want you to know it's very easy to give. You can go to either website. There's the wsblindfoundation.org/give, and all of those options are on there for you to choose. You can also go to wsblind.org, and there's giving a link within that website that you can find. Lastly, I mentioned early when we started, one of the key things I look for when I'm giving to a nonprofit is like, who is at the helm? How healthy is that nonprofit? Is my money, going to be used for exactly what they say and for their mission? And so I want to just close with the fact that if you hadn't heard, Eric Yarberry is our new CEO as of November 1st this year. We're very excited. In January, we're going to do a big layout of a marketing, just sharing this message to everybody through several different things that we're doing. But I wanted to say, This is a solid stand-up leader that we have at the helm of World Services for the Blind. And I think you probably established some of that as you have heard him share today.
Yeah, and one thing I want to share too is if you know me personally, you know that I'm not a in the spotlight kind of person, but I definitely try to give back to our community, and I enjoy what I do, and a part of having the opportunity to be the CEO at World Services for the Blind is giving back, and that's a lot. I have a lot of fun doing that, and for those of you those clients on this, or potential students or previous students who are not able to give, know that if you need anything, World Services for the Blind is here. Don't hesitate to give us a call. We know that everyone lives their own story. And I want to finish with, just remember, if you're going through challenges, and like I said, everyone's got a story. Challenges they're inevitable, but remember that defeat is optional. So keep trying, keep moving forward. And we appreciate you guys listening to our message about giving, but know that you can always reach out to us if you need anything and need any support.
And lastly, I want to mention too, in that vein, that we would love for you, another way to give. It's not always just monetarily, but volunteering is a big way to give back. And we need volunteers. Like tomorrow, we're going to do a big shopping trip at McCain with our clients. Volunteers help us so much when they can help us go on those trips and help us with clients, just leading them to stores and helping them get the things they need. And so there's lots of a variety of ways to get involved here volunteering. We'd love to have you. Give me a call, Michelle Harper, at 501-664-7100 is our main line. That information is on our websites, our Facebooks, but also, you can, give me a call, let me know. We'd love to have you up here. We have the mentor program that you can get involved if you are a prior client, there's ways to get involved that way in mentorship. So there's a lot. We want to connect you if you want to be connected here at WSB. And we just are so thankful that you have spent some time to listen to us share how you can give, and heard his heart on how he feels, and also giving back to our community. We hope you have a wonderful holiday season, the remainder of the year, and we thank you for taking the time with us to learn more about what we do and who we are and how you can support us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys, and have very happy holidays, and we'll be talking to y'all soon.
Yeah.